Hi guys, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to the channel. Please remember to like and subscribe, share, leave a comment, and welcome to the channel again. Welcome to the Goodliving podcast. It's your man Cook Boy. Today I'm going to show us what I think is the reason why most young adults and late teenagers fall out with their parents. Most of the time, all of us are falling out with our parents at some point in time, and why that happens. But before then, I'm going to try and say something, because in my last episodes I've always talked about certain classes of people in ways that might offend them, and I've had comments and I've had DMs and I've had people that listen to the podcast and watch the podcast. I've had you guys talk to me about the way that I address these issues, and I really apologize if I've made anybody feel bad. If anybody, I didn't mean to offend anybody with the way I say things, and moving forward, I'm going to adjust the way that I talk about certain issues with more empathy, to every situation. I'll try as much as possible to improve on the way I talk about certain issues and certain classes of people. And I'm sorry about that. Moving forward, so I've been thinking, when I was little, I used to see older people, like teenagers and the rest, when I was out 10, 11, 12, shout at their parents, have arguments with their parents. And I'd be like, how do you guys get to this stage? How do you guys get to this point where you're arguing with your father, arguing with your mom? And it used to bug me, but I didn't know exactly how it got there. And then, time passed, and then one time I was arguing with my dad. And then I realized, oh, look at me now. I'm doing the same thing. And so it got me thinking. But even then, my realization then was that, okay, maybe this is what happens when you grow older. You just become stubborn and radical. It was recently I started putting some thought into it, like what exactly happens that makes that sweet child become this rebellious teenager. And then I put a few things together, and I think it's realizations. So I think we get upset with our parents because they did not tell us everything, or they did not tell us the way that they're supposed to tell us. For example, if you're a girl coming up, they will tell you that if you have sex, you will get pregnant. When your mom sees you with a man or a guy, they will reprimand you a lot and then tell you, this just you will get pregnant. If you have sex, you will get pregnant. That's what they tell you. And you begin to think that. But growing older, you now begin to make friends. Your friends have started having sex. And then it is now them that tell you, okay, you will get pregnant if you have sex, true. But these are the things that now leads to pregnancy. So you can have sex, and if it doesn't get to this point, then you will not get pregnant. And then you understand it more. And then you now have to trust your friend because they've told you the truth that your parents knew and did not tell you. And then that gives you a little sense of resentment, because now your parents should have told you that, but they didn't tell you that. It's like they also tell you if you do abortion, you will die. That one too, our Nollywood didn't help with that one, with pushing that narrative. But they did push it, and our parents didn't tell us that. Then you realize at the end of the day, oh, a girl would have done 4 or 5 abortions. She's fine. She will still give birth safe when she has a husband. And that no consequence, almost as if there's no consequence for it. But our parents did not tell us that as well. So it begins to make us lose trust for them, And as a guy, they will tell you if you join court, you will die. They'll kill you. You understand? And I knew people that were cultists then when I was hearing all those things. And all of us are the same age now, and everybody is fine. They've even left the cult thing behind, kind of, and everybody is fine. And obviously, people die from abortions. People have sex without protection, and they don't plan it, but they get pregnant. People die after abortions. Cultists get killed. But they did not tell us in a way that we should understand. Even as adults, they would have come, okay, we told you that this thing will do this to you then because you were a child. Now that you've become an adult, this is actually how it works. That way we would have more trust in our parents. But they don't do that. So at the end of the day now, that lack of honesty is what triggers us, what annoys us. Now it's subconscious, so you don't really say, you didn't tell me this, that's why I'm angry with you. But at the end of the day, it makes you lose respect for this person you once idolized and believe every word that came out of their mouths. And then next time they won't tell you something, you feel like you have your own input, because now you've gone out to the world and realized that, oh, not everything this woman said is true. You've begun to realize some truths with evidence. And so it makes us quarrel. And and these things now don't prepare us enough for adulthood. Because if you tell a child, like, okay, for example, on that one, the key to success is education. So if you get good grades, you'll be okay in life. They make us believe that if you get good grades in school, you'll be okay in life. And then we realize as we grow older that the A1 and the B2 is not really it. That's not what gives you money. When you're an adult and needs money now, you begin to see all of those. Like your parents, why didn't they tell us exactly what puts money in our pocket early enough? Because at this point in time, we would have had money in our pockets. But they kept pushing only school to us, you get? And that's the fuck up thing. So it makes us begin to vex with them because they didn't tell us everything. And then that's where the anger stems from. That's where, your brother will talk on, you will talk to, because it's not fair now. Who are you to even tell me this thing when you didn't tell me the truth before? And then we argue with our parents. And something else is the fact that when we now realize also that our parents do not know everything. It's, as a child, your father is your hero, your mother is your hero, and they give you all the answers you need. Every question you ask, they have an answer to give you, and you trust that answer. And then as you grow older, you realize that day to day have their own problems, day to day get into trouble, day to day fuck up, day to day need your help, they need your advice, they need your money. And I'm not saying that this directly makes you disrespect your parents, but obviously that hero status comes down a little bit. If Superman bleeds just like you and me, you saw Superman hurry to the toilet to shit, you saw Superman horny and trying to toast it. Like, there's certain things, you see the image of a hero. If they begin to falter and show a lot of humanity, you lose. They come down from that hero status. Doesn't mean you necessarily lose a lot of respect for them, but you lose some, and then they're no longer your heroes like that anymore. So when that happens, it happens to our parents as well, and then it makes us now begin to see ourselves on the same level where we can now have debates and arguments with them, some which might turn violent. Now, this is why we spark up and have arguments with our parents. But there's also reasons why the arguments continue. So a lot of people now fall out with their fathers when they are teenagers, fall out with their mothers. A lot of people. So the reason why this one happens now is lack of understanding. So now our parents don't understand that this is exactly what is going on in our heads. This is exactly what happens that makes us not trust them anymore, or that makes us talk back at them when they are talking these days. They don't understand it. In their own head, it's just like, this child that I was busting my ass for, that I was paying his school fees, I was clothing him, feeding him, paying for his education and everything, and he's talking back at me. What the hell? They don't understand your own perspective, and then it's just a volcano. An argument is going to erupt because you will not explain, because we don't even know what causes it in us. I'm just thinking that this is it, right? So they don't know this about us, and we also don't understand it from their perspective, that they fed us and all their life they gave it up for us. And then there's this big argument where you cannot see eye to eye with your father because you're not talking about the particular issue at hand. But maybe if we did talk about it, then obviously it will be solved earlier. So you can argue with your father, but if he knows that this guy has seen some things in this world now that I did not tell him, that's why he's upset, he will calm down with you. And if you too, you put it in your mind that this man has actually tried for me, so all this shout, I might leave a man shouting, don't try. There's less friction, and people understand each other. Although it might be inside your head, but you still understand each other, and that way it is better. So I think that's what's going to happen. But let me know in the comments what happens. Please don't forget to subscribe and like and share. The channel is doing well already. Please, let's just improve it. Get ourselves to let's get this video to 40 likes. Thank you very much for watching and listening to the Good Living podcast. I hope you have a great week, and see you later. Bye-bye.